celebrated enough, and that is the fact that this president is so one with the victims of that.
The place where victims happened.
In the middle of the country there.
Yeah.
He was giving a speech, and he is so one with the people of Oklahoma.
Oh, my gosh. Is he in touch or what?
He really is.
The empathy that pours out of that good man.
He was... He's carried it with him.
He has.
He's carried it with him.
Well, he toured the area, so you know it affected him deeply. He was there, and he cared, and he wanted to mention them.
And so he's mentioning, here he is, after he's toured, and he has seen more Oklahoma, and he has seen what they have gone through.
And now he's back east, and he's talking about the Sandy storm and more Oklahoma, and it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Listen to this.
Folks in Breezy Point and Staten Island. And obviously, we're going to be there for the folks in Monroe, Oklahoma, after the devastation of last week.
Why? What happened in Monroe? What happened in Monroe?
I think there was a hurricane in Monroe.
There was a really?
Yeah, it was a double whammy because you had the tornado
in Moore,
Oklahoma.
Right.
But
and then the hurricane swept into Monroe,
Oklahoma.
which is what, 200 miles to the east?
Yeah,
sure.
Okay. Yeah, but if that's, I mean, you're splitting hairs there. I mean, sure, it's a different town, and
sure, nothing happened there.
But it was an M town.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He knew it started with an M. That's how deeply moved he was.
He knew the town. I delivered the trucks to Mount Vernon.
Oklahoma? Mount Vernon, Oklahoma?
No, Mount Vernon, Washington.
Oh, wow.
It's my hometown.
But that's not where the
it starts with an M.
Wow, you are deeply.
And I wanted the people to know that we were going to be there for Mount Vernon, Washington. We're going to be there for them.
What happened in Mount Vernon?
Oh, there was a flood when I was a kid.
Okay.
You know.
And you're just now getting around to helping.
No, my dad and I shoveled sandbags and stuff, and it was bad. It was bad, and I wanted to make sure that they knew that we were going to be there for the good folks at Mount Vernon.
40-some years later.
Yeah, it's still carry it with me.
Had this been Bush after Katrina, and he's talking about...
Has anybody even heard that?
Nope.
Has anybody even heard that? Play it again. Here's more, say it with me, more Oklahoma.
Folks in Breezy Point and Staten Island. And obviously, we're going to be there for the folks in Monroe, Oklahoma, after the devastation of last week.
Yay!
He would have been called, Bush would have been called out of touch, uncaring, unfeeling, hateful, racist.
He was, remember, this is a guy who was criticized for flying over the devastation.
And looking out the window.
I don't know how else you would see it all at once, other than flying over it. That's kind of how you would do it, and it seems logical. However, he looked out of a window and was criticized for that photo. This guy can't even remember the name of the town where it occurred. He's talking about a different place.
Well, I want you to know, because we were there delivering food to Monroe, and the
at the First Presbyterian Church,
we broadcast from the First Presbyterian Church, I think,
or was it the second or third?
I don't remember. It was the First Presbyterian, I think, and it was an amazing experience to see the devastation that can happen from a snowstorm like that. And people were cold or hot. I'm not really. I think they were both.
Well, because of global warming, I'm sure they were at the same time.
It was amazing, and I want those people in Monroeviaville to know that.
You said something.
Monroeviaville? Is that where it was?
What's Monroeviaville?
Right there. It's right there where the devastation was happening.
Oh, okay.
And I want those people to know that we are going to be there with
the folks up there.
Hot soup or cold drinks, whatever it is they needed. We were there.
Probably hot soup is not necessarily
and napkins,
needed.
Plenty of napkins.
Because it's 100
degrees. We're bringing brawny though, because it'll soak up some of that water from the floods.
It's a good idea, Mr. President. It's a good idea.
Thank you.
And that's
Thank you.
That's
a good idea.
In Motown,
Montpelier,
Oklahoma.
Yeah. It's
devastated. Not even on the map. It's been wiped off the map.
They keep shouting at me. I was just giving a speech, and and they kept shouting at me. They were like, more. And I'm like, we are going to be there with more. Mm-hmm. We are going to be there with more. And I said, because those people in Mount Vernon, they need more. And so we were there. We're going to be there again.
If you watch that video, we were kind of arguing about what occurred there. I believe he was on prompter for the previous list of tragic places that he was doing, because he was on the Jersey Shore, and he's talking about, it was when he was hugging Chris Christie and getting Bears one for him. Mm-hmm. And he said something to the effect of, he's like, Staten Island, and listed a bunch of places. And then he goes, and of course, we're also going to be there for Monroe, Oklahoma. To me, it looked like he decided...
He went off prompter.
I went off
and
prompter.
He had no idea.
Oh, crap, I better say something about Oklahoma, too. And, of course, had no idea because he could care less. Jeffy had a different philosophy.
When I first saw it, it looked like he was on prompter, and then as he was reading the prompter, he thought, that doesn't sound right. It's like he's saying it, and he has this look on his face like, that's not right, but he doesn't correct it. He keeps going.
I can't believe that in the prompter it said Monroe, Oklahoma. There's no way. Yeah, There's no way they got that wrong in the prompter. Is there?
No.
Well, certainly they would have put out a statement, and that...
Nobody asked them for a statement.
Yeah,
nobody cares. Nobody cares.